What's going on? What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. Make sure y'all like this video, hype this video, share this video. I'm going to talk about Stephen A. Smith. Now, I woke up and I saw that Stephen A. Smith was trending on X. And I looked and I saw that there was an article from Awful Announcing, which has the ear of ESPN, ABC. Maybe some other outlets as well, but they're known too. When they post things, you know they probably had sources there. They work very closely, right? And this article about Stephen A. Smith believing that people are conspiring to get him fired from ESPN. You don't believe me? I'll show you. Now, this isn't a coincidence, people. And from the piece that I read of what Stephen A. Smith had to say, it looks to me like he's already figured out life after ESPN Disney. Because then why would this come out? We all know that Stephen A. Smith is wanting to be more of a political voice. This is why he speaks politics. He's spoken to podcasts in regards to politics. He was most recently on Sage Steele's podcast, who is known as a conservative. He's moving very independently of the worldwide leader. Because we all know the majority of the people they put on television are raging liberals, race baiters. Stephen A. Smith has been accused of being a race baiter too. I'm not saying he isn't, but from what he said, it looks to me like he's already looking at life after ESPN. He says that if he's no longer at ESPN, he would be unleashed, and that you would see him without all the restrictions and the chains that are on him currently. Not to say I don't believe him, because I actually do, because he'll have no choice but to be real and honest. I think he sees the success of other podcasts, especially in the political field. You know, people who do politics get a lot of views, especially if you're speaking about issues, especially pertaining to foreign policy and what's going on in the world. He sees this. He sees the success of platforms that take a more direct political stance. So he knows that if he was to leave ESPN, that's definitely the route he's going to go. Now, there's been talk of him running for president. I don't believe that. What, as a conservative, as a Republican, is going to do it independently. I think Stephen A. Smith is getting tired of being attacked. And I think what triggered this is this whole Matt Barnes beef. He's been trying to respond and play nice with Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes is somebody who just likes to go after other black men. I don't think Matt Barnes really stands for anything. I think Matt Barnes is an agitator. He and Stephen A. Smith were cool with each other, but I think that this back and forth is getting under Stephen A. Smith's skin because he wants to play nice with Matt Barnes. I don't know why. I don't know why he feels he has to. Matt Barnes has had this in his heart way before Stephen A. Smith said anything about LeBron James. And by the way, why are grown men defending LeBron James? He can defend himself. Anyway, that's what I feel like might be bringing on. Also, him getting attacked by Michelle Obama and, Jasmine Crockett's and all the people that support them, right? I think he's tired of having to hold his tongue and apologize. I think that's starting to wear on him. He's starting to figure out, listen, I've been building up my own platform. I don't need to take this anymore. I think he's getting to that point. And this is why you're seeing this paranoia building up in Stephen A. He feels like people are conspiring to get him fired. This is a guy who claims that he has security. Now, I'm not saying he's getting fired. He doesn't think he's getting fired. But then why would you say this? Who's trying to get you fired? I thought your spot at ESPN was solidified. Why would you feel like people are conspiring against you? Unless you feel like the higher ups at ESPN might be wearing thin of you moving around and doing what you want to do, as far, especially when you have a company that's very liberal. Let's be real, they're very liberal up there at ESPN, and you're moving in these conservative circles. I think they're getting tired of that, and ultimatums may end up getting put out there. Let's get into this. Stephen A.Smith believes his enemies have spent the last year conspiring to get him fired from ESPN and SiriusXM, but be careful what you wish for, because Smith claims getting him fired from ESPN won't eliminate him. It will only eliminate the guardrails around him. Smith is feuding with Matt Barnes, which stemmed from his ongoing feud with LeBron James. Most recently, he called James out for shading Memphis as an NBA city, which is ironic because Smith has said similar things about Memphis last year on First Take. But after Smith called James out over his Memphis commentary, Barnes called Smith out for disrespecting people in the black community too often, citing Serena Williams, Jasmine Crockett, and Kamala Harris. Let me say this about Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes, what about that black woman that you disrespect at home, that you continuously cheat on? Matt Barnes, you cheated. I'm saying you cheated, but you got extorted by an AI profile. Thousands of dollars, because you didn't want that profile to reveal that you're actually cheating on your black spouse. Matt Barnes is a mixed nut who claims to be pro-black, but all he does is attack other black people. That's all he does. We're not going to let you forget that drive you did to go confront Derek Fisher for dating your ex. But anyway, naturally, the criticism set Smith off on a tirade where he fired back by criticizing Barnes' political agenda and questioning the legitimacy of his softball interview with Gavin Newsom. But during his Tuesday afternoon SiriusXM show for Mad Dog Sports Radio, Smith offered more context about why he appears to have an ever-growing number of feuds and enemies. I think that it's important for my listeners and also the people here at SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio for me to remind people of who the hell I am, Smith said. Things have happened in my life over the last year or so that you have the right to know. There are many folks out there who want me done. Okay? They want me fired. They want me taken off the airwaves of SiriusXM. They want me taken off the airwaves of ESPN. Good luck with that, because, ladies and gentlemen, if I had a speck of fatigue, if I was melancholy about anything, if I was devoid or stripped of inspiration or fervor and defiance, oh, they cured that. There's nothing that gets me up more than adversaries that have the nerve to think they can go against me. I love it. It inspires me. It fuels me. Stephen A. Smith, listen, Stephen, we know that you like going after people. That's how you built your name at ESPN. Not just off of clowning Kwame Brown every chance you got, but by going after other people, going after NBA players, right? That is how you made your name. So we wouldn't expect anything less. We wouldn't expect that. But I think Stephen A. Smith, by now, Stephen A. Smith expects people to respect him more because of this contract he got, because of this status he has at ESPN. He expects people, his peers, athletes or who he's cool with, to respect him, and they don't. I truly believe those people who he think are his friends talk about him behind his back. I do. I don't think they respect Stephen A. Smith. I really don't. That is why Matt Barnes is attacking you. Matt Barnes has never respected you. Matt Barnes has been wanting to attack you for probably a while now. That's why he's continuing to go after you. And he's not the only one. There's others too that don't like you. And I think Stephen A. Smith is maybe starting to see that, but they can't get him fired from ESPN. They have no say so over that. The only people that can fire Stephen A. Smith are his bosses, as he loves to call them, at Disney. Those are the Disney, ESPN. Those are the only people who can get him fired. His co-workers can't get him fired. His friends and media, or ex-athletes who've done media, who he thought were his friends, those people can't get you fired. The only people that can get you fired, Stephen A. Smith, is your bosses. And you know that your bosses are getting tired of you straddling this political fence. They don't like you leaning more conservative on their liberal airwaves. And if they do, if it comes to them having to get rid of you, Stephen A., they may do that because maybe they feel like they're overspending for you. I think Stephen A. Smith does a lot for ESPN. I think he is their biggest well-known voice there. But again, we've seen situations where companies will still cut ties with somebody and they don't like them. Politics will destroy situations. I'm telling you right now. And I could definitely see his bosses giving him an ultimatum. They don't want to see this. They don't want to see you going on stage still show a woman that they let go, that they did not want on their platform, on their programming anymore. She claimed they discriminated against her because she was conservative, and you're on her podcast. They don't want to see that. Let's get back to this enemies. About his enemies. Over the last year, there's been a lot of enemies, and I don't hurt easy. But I will tell you what does hurt me. When I have people who smile in my face spanning years and led me to believe we were friends and then backstab me. See what I'm saying? They're not your friends, Stephen A. They really aren't. They're just users. Give you a false sense of friendship, and then they turn their backs on you the first chance they get. Smith presumably considers Barnes one of those people who backstabbed him after previously smiling at his face. In recent years, Barnes had appeared on Smith's radio, YouTube, and TV shows, and Smith didn't appreciate Barnes now criticizing the way the black community perceives him. As if Matt Barnes speaks for the black community. Whether it's with ESPN or whether it's here with SiriusXM, do you know why I'm not worried about these athletes? Because they can't touch me, Smith said. They want to make enough noise so enough people can turn against somebody like me, and maybe, just maybe, you won't listen to me. And as a result, by not listening to me, it will dilute my impact and I'd go away so they won't have to be concerned about me. Too late for that. I'm not going away. You got folks out here that want me canceled, Smith continued. I want you to imagine for a second that I'm no longer working for the mouse during my day job. There's no more ESPN, there's no more Walt Disney, and all there is SiriusXM and whatever else I want to do in the YouTube stratosphere. Listen, YouTube is a game changer for these guys. Okay? They're just, there's so much growth on YouTube. You don't need to be contracted to one of these big companies. All you have to do is bring the numbers. Do you understand there will be no barricades? There will be no barriers. Do you understand that would unleash me even more? Careful what you wish for. And that's what I'm saying. I think Stephen A. Smith has thought about this. I think he has. I think Stephen A. Smith has thought about this. I think he's weighed it. And I think that he sees, you know what? I don't really need ESPN. I could go on my own. Stephen A. Smith was on his own before, and he came back because he just didn't have, it just wasn't the right time. But this might be the right time for him to be on his own, because if he's moving the way he's moving, ESPN is not going to keep letting it go. And it's not going to be ex-athletes who are the cause of that. As ridiculous as the cancel culture conversation is, it's even more ridiculous when it comes to Smith, who already operates without barriers. And while most people will think getting fired from ESPN would be a bad thing, Smith seems to believe it would only amplify him more. Maybe Smith sees that as his ultimate ticket to keeping his money and running for president. Well, I think Stephen A. Smith might be all talk when it comes to that. I don't see him running for president. Again, all it takes is getting some rich backers. Now he may have to toe some lines, so he may have to push some agendas. Is he ready to get in that? Is he ready to deal with that? Listen, I think this whole Matt Barnes thing is really getting to him, to where now he's openly believing that people are out to get him. That could be the case, but why would you trust a guy like Matt Barnes anyway? That's the thing. And others, these people are not your friends, Stephen A. Smith. They really aren't. So let us in the comment section with me thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Subscribe to my other channels. Check out the Patreon. And I'll see y'all next one.